What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I thank you for taking the time on this beautiful Friday afternoon. And look, I hope your weekend is off to a great start. My voice is still a little beat up, but we're gonna truck through it. Day 2 of joint practices between the Eagles and the Browns just got finished. So some of the players are speaking to the media right now. I'm going to watch that a little bit later. Figured I'd get some of these notes out of the way. Got some things to do today. Then I'm going to be back and we're going to be talking about a certain trade people have been talking about and a certain picture people saw that got things riled up. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But today we're going to start off. We're going to talk about the joint practice injury report, and then, of course, some of the notes. But if you have any questions, any comments, please feel free to throw my way. I hope your weekend is off to a great start. If not yet, let's get it started, baby. So thank you for taking the time, and let's go. So you see Grant Calcaterra pictured here. Now, this man has missed 2 weeks now, and we've talked about, Noah Togiai, Richard Rodgers, trying to push for that third spot with him being out. So this is his opportunity today to show out. So he was limited, but he was at practice. So great news to hear. We've got some more competition in the tight end room, but did not practice was James Bradberry, Christian Ellis, Javon Hargrave, Kelsey, Miles Sanders, and Greg Ward. So almost the same exact injury report minus Calcaterra being limited today. So we've talked about Bradberry being precautious there, Kelsey with his surgery, Hargrave also being precautious with he and Sanders. Greg Ward, though, you would hope that he could be out there, but apparently that toe injury still holding him out. He is trying to beat out maybe Britton Covey for a 6th spot there. I think, we talked about the top 5, but beyond that, maybe we've talked about Deion Kane pushing Greg Ward, maybe a Britton Covey, a Devin Allen. So we'll see what happens here at camp. But these injuries don't bode well for guys like Christian Ellis and Greg Ward. The other guys just being precautious. So no need to fear, ladies and gentlemen. Jules, no doubt. You smoking a Juul now? Fantastic. Hope you're having a great day. What's going on, my man? Drew in the building. I'm obviously still a little, but feeling great. Excited about these joint practices. Ready to go. Ready to talk a little bit of trade news with you guys in a little bit here. I'll probably do it in about an hour. So we're going to talk about Kareem Hunt and all that other stuff. But right now, we're just going to focus on the practice notes. But I'm doing well. Hope you are doing well. Appreciate you taking the time. Another great day for the Eagles indeed, Nina. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you taking the time. And, of course, Ryan, my man, what is going on, brother? We are here. We are talking about today's joint practice. So another day where it looks like the Eagles got the better of the Browns. But, again, we are taking all of this with a grain of salt. These are joint practices, but you guys know how I feel about these joint practices. I feel that you get more done here than you do in the preseason games. The preseason games feel a little more futile to me than anything else because really this team, we're trying to be precautious of certain players, this, that, the other thing. But when you're in, these joint practices, you have situational football being played. You get to see a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to see in preseason when you only have, your ones out there for one drive the entire preseason. So I like these, and you can take things from them, but you got to be careful. Some people get carried away, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whatever it may be. You have to take it all with a grain of salt. So we see the injuries here where I know people are freaking out about Miles Sanders. That's why we're going to talk about something later here today. But look, I don't think it's anything serious. We know that it's a reoccurring theme, some people like to say. But the one thing I say is, he's missed 8 games in the past 3 years. But let's be honest here, maybe 8 to 9, 10, something like that. But I know Kareem Hunt has missed like 22 games in his 5 years. So it's not like this guy is exactly, Mr. Healthy here. So I know there's a lot of interesting talk, and we're going to talk about that later. But you saw the injuries. Now let's get to some of the notes. And I got a good amount of them. Tried to on the fly keep note of what was going down here, but I took offense and defense. So we're going to go to the offense first, ladies and gentlemen. Jalen Hurts and Minshew, they struggled at the start of practice. The media was chomping at the bit. Yes, here we go. And then they got shut down. Jalen Hurts comes out swinging, throws 6 touchdowns, 3 to A.J. Brown, 1 to Devontae, 1 to Quez, and then 2 more to Dallas Goedert. Again, situational football, take it all with a grain of salt, but you love to see this kid out here slinging it, scoring touchdowns rather than throwing interceptions. So all good news. You love to hear that. Gardner Minshew hit Jalen Reagor for a touchdown at one point, but a big day for Reagor. Apparently, a few really good catches. That's great. We want to see him really pan out as the wide receiver 5. Quez is 3, Zach as 4, Reagor is 5, and then maybe Britton is 6. I think that could be one of the best, if not the best, wide receiving cores in the game. So keep going, Jalen. We believe in you, young man. Then you got Reed Sinet connecting with Britton Covey for a touchdown at the end of 11 on 11s. And Britton Covey, you guys know how I feel about him. Can help you in the return game, provide you that depth as a wide receiver. And I think that he could find himself being that 6th wide receiver if the Eagles do go that way. I would love to see it. The first team offense, though, at one point did struggle. They only got 1 touchdown out of 10 tries in the 11 on 11. So I knew a certain media member was ready. And then right after that, Jalen Hurts just goes off. So you love to see it. There were a few struggles, but you expect these things. This is what practice is for. But the offensive line dominated. Lane Johnson had his way with Jadeveon Clowney today. Mailata showing Myles Garrett what's up. Cam Jurgens laying it down on people again today. So this offensive line going against a really good defense, they continue to show why they are the best offensive line in the game. I cannot wait to see this team. And these young men behind, all these stud veterans we have, you just love to see that because they're learning from some of the best, and we are sitting pretty for the future. Devontae Smith at one point cooked Greedy Williams. They explained it. You guys know how I feel about his route running, how special he truly is. But he scored one of those first touchdowns. That was when things got started. So you saw that Devontae and Quez each had a touchdown, but that one was one that stuck out to the press guys. Now, Deon Cain, we've talked about him every day. He continues to show out every day. So it's great to see that there's actual competition at the wide receiver spot. So may the best man win between Deon Cain, Greg Ward, Devin Allen, Britton Covey, I think is a guy who could win it. But hey, these other guys are stepping it up. So we'll see in the next couple of weeks here who really wants to win this job. Now, Grant Calcaterra, we talked about returning in a limited fashion. Well, right to start practice, makes himself a great catch, phenomenal catch, and then he ends up falling on the damn track. So luckily he got right back up, was back in practice, but it's like, Jesus Christ. We want to see this kid healthy. We want to see what he's got, see him pushing to make it. I'm sure he was much more limited after he fell on his ass, but glad he got back up, hoping he's healthy. Don't think he's going to end up on that PUP list now, so hopefully he can make this roster as that F-type tight end. Now, on to the defensive side of the ball. Talking about the notes here from joint practice. The first team offense of the Browns had 3 straight false start penalties. This defense has got people on their heels, dude. I love every second of it. Again, take it with a grain of salt, but you guys know I feel this is a top 3 defense, and they are going to show out. Fletcher Cox had 4 tackles for a loss. You guys remember when I said it's not about Fletcher Cox over Jordan Davis. It's next to Jordan Davis. It's going to allow Fletcher Cox not to play out of position and to feast. Well, today he did just that, and we will see a lot of that this season. Marlon Tuipulotu was able to get a sack, so the defensive tackles laying some heat down. And then you had Sam linebacker, Hassan Reddick, edge rushers, Josh Sweat, and Teron Jackson. All of them got 2 sacks. You guys know I feel Teron Jackson makes this squad. Love Reddick and Sweat opposing each other as the outside linebackers in those odd fronts. I cannot wait putting their hand in the dirt as defensive ends. You know the versatility of this defense from being able to switch to even and odd fronts, multiple schemes. Oh, yes. I think going from 31st in the league, we're about to be top 5 when it comes to sacks. And I think, again, this will be a top 3 defense. Now, we talk about the depth behind Hassan Reddick. Will it be Kyron Johnson or Patrick Johnson? I've been going with Kyron Johnson, but Patrick has really been playing well. Now, today, Kyron showing off why I think he is the guy that wins that backup job behind Hassan Reddick. He got a sack and continued to get pressure throughout the day. So, love to see what Kyron Johnson's doing. Go get it, young man. Then, the man at linebacker, Kaiser White, gets himself an interception. Then almost had another one. Ended as a pass breakup, but this dude, you guys remember when I talked about him before we signed him, why he was such a key piece to add. I am beyond thrilled about he being there and TJ Edwards to help linebacker Nakobe Dean, who also had himself a pass breakup. This linebacking group, I cannot believe how improved it is, and I can't wait to see it on Sundays. Now, Darius Slay had himself a great pass breakup on Amari Cooper. We all know that he is the Cooper killer. He just always has his number. So the way they explained it, it was quite the phenomenal breakup. So love to see Slay doing big play things. Marcus Epps also with a pass breakup. Love to see the leader of the safeties going out and doing his thing. We just need to see these other guys stepping it up beyond who wants to win those jobs. You guys know I feel I had Andre Sacheret and Kayvon Wallace both on my projected 53-man roster. I don't think we give up on Kayvon just yet. And Andre Sacheret provides that nickel corner free safety special teamer that I think he's just irreplaceable. You got to keep him on the roster. But an impressive day for Kayvon, not just with his pass breakup. So you love to see that. We're going to see who makes this roster as the safeties. But I love the fact that there's just competition all across the board. So you love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. So keep up the competition. Keep up the good work. And look, you take it all with a grain of salt. We know that this is just joint practice, but you're getting to see a lot of good things rather than negative things. You're not seeing a lot of turnovers, anything like that. So for me, I am still very excited about the season. So I hope you guys are getting there with me. This is going to be a very special season. Yo, my man, Philly in the building. Let's go. You know it. And I think the world is now finding out exactly what I've been trying to talk about for freaking over a year. But the past few months, specifically going hard, being able to guest on some really great shows. And, I really just get out there and try to, speak what I feel this defense is going to be with these multiple schemes, what this offense is going to do. Let the world speak their negativity and doubt this team. They're all going to be eating their words and flip-flopping before you know it. Dude, I mean, how... And there's going to be people upset, like, it's just practice. You can't be excited about the Eagles. It's like, oh, I can be excited about the Eagles at any time. It could be the end of the season. I'm going to be excited the next day. I don't care. I love the Eagles at every moment. And when there's actual football being played, even if it's just practice, that gets me a little bit more excited that I don't just have to talk about it. There's something to look at, something to break down, all about it. So, oh, yes, I think this is where I wanted to be, man, because you know how much it sucks to sit here for a year and try to get people behind this guy, to get people to be fans of the Eagles instead of just trashing them every second of the day, telling me what I don't know. The Eagles don't have cats. It's tough. It's ridiculous, but it's very nice at this moment in time. It seems like the fans of all the bandwagon fans are here, the flip-floppers, the fair weather, everybody seems to be jumping aboard, and it makes my life 10 times easier. I don't like having to argue with people that don't know what's going on. It just really, it gets old. So it's like, yes, this is what we talked about. This was the prophecy, and we're seeing it unfold, ladies and gentlemen. So every little bit of practice, every rep, every snap counts, ladies and gentlemen. So love to see the Eagles going out a second day, and an even more impressive day today, getting one up on the Browns. Now, again, it's joint practice, so I don't care, but I love to see this team continuing to develop. Yep, that's right. Quarterbacks can develop. Believe it or not, it's happening. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for you today when it comes to the practice notes, the injury report, all that good stuff. But I will be back in a little while. Not exactly sure what time. I got a few things to do, but you could do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on, and you'll know when we're going live next. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the Kareem Hunt situation. I'm going to talk about not only should they, could they? So we're going to talk about the money. We're going to talk about the future cap space, the future draft picks of the Eagles, all that stuff you guys need to know. His salary cap hit, how it affects the Eagles salary cap, how much salary cap do the Eagles have? So all those questions you have, I will answer here shortly. But I appreciate you taking the time. If you have any questions, comments about practice today, please feel free to drop them down below. You can always reach out to me in the messages. Love to talk some birds with you, or you want to talk about life, you need a friend, whatever it is, always here for you guys as you are for me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. But I will be back. And until that time, I'm Jimmy Smith. This has been On the Road to Victory. Stay safe out there. And as always, go Birds!